All right, get ready, because today we're diving deep into the world of mnemonics.
Those really cool brain hacks that help us remember, well, just about anything.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, we probably all use them without even realizing it. Like, who hasn't used Roy G. Biv to remember the colors of the rainbow?
That's so true. It's a perfect example of how these mnemonics work. They take something complex like information and make it into a pattern
Hmm.
or something our brains find easier to remember.
Okay, that makes sense. But why do our brains seem to love these patterns so much?
Well, it's like our brains are these pattern-seeking machines, always looking for connections to make sense of the world. Mnemonics, they sort of tap into that by providing a framework.
So instead of trying to remember a bunch of random things, we're giving our brains this structure.
Exactly. And there are a bunch of different types of mnemonics that use this. First up, you've got acronyms like NASA, FBI. Heck, even LOL is technically an acronym, right? We're using the first letter of each word to make a shortcut.
I never even thought of LOL like that. It's like a secret memory code we're all using.
Totally. Then you've got acrostics, kind of similar, but instead of just one word, we're talking a whole sentence with the first letter of each word standing for something else.
Oh, like every good boy deserves fudge for musical notes, right?
Bingo. Each word there, the first letter, is a note on the treble clef. Such a simple phrase for a big musical idea.
That's amazing. I bet there's an acrostic out there for almost anything.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the power of rhymes and songs. Remember those jingles from when you were a kid? They stick with you forever.
Yeah.
That's because music has this incredible power to, embed itself in our memory.
It's true. I can still sing the theme song to my favorite cartoon, and it's been years.
Exactly. Music is powerful. And when you combine it with information, like that rhyme, 30 days, hath September, it's like an earworm you just can't shake off.
Okay, so acronyms, acrostics, rhymes, songs. Those are the classics. But are mnemonics just for remembering like trivia and school stuff, or can we actually use them?
Oh, they're totally useful in everyday life.
Mm.
Probably already using them more than you realize.
Really?
Yeah. Or retrace your steps to remember where you left something. Or picture your grocery list.
Wait, those are mnemonics? Huh. I guess they are. Okay, but still, I could use some help remembering more than just where my keys are. What about, like, when you meet someone new and immediately forget their name? Ugh, it's so bad.
Yeah, classic problem, right?
Mhm.
But mnemonics can help. Instead of just repeating their name in your head, try associating it with something you'll remember. Like say you meet someone named David and he's got this amazing beard.
Cool.
You could picture him as like David the Bearded. Maybe even give him a Viking helmet in your mind, just to really cement it.
David the Viking. I like it. So it's all about finding those weird little connections.
Exactly. And the cool thing is you're training your brain to be more observant, to
Mm.
actually look for those connections, which can help your memory overall.
So it's like a workout, but for your
Yeah.
memory. Speaking of workouts, is there a mnemonic for remembering to stretch? Because I'll be honest, I don't always remember.
Well, remembering to stretch is important, but even more important is knowing when to pause or stop during a workout.
Mm.
And there's actually a mnemonic for that.
Oh, wow, really? Like what is it?
It's about recognizing those warning signs your body might be giving you.
Okay.
Things like dizziness, chest pain, nausea, a bad headache, feeling faint, or just super exhausted. Those are all signs to take a break or just stop completely.
Yeah, that's important to remember. So what is it? A catchy jingle?
Not a jingle, but it's easy to remember. Ready? Here it is. If your head is pounding, or you feel a bit dizzy, if your chest starts to ache, or you're gasping for air, if you're feeling lightheaded, if your stomach feels queasy or exhaustion takes hold, just stop and take care.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. And a little dramatic, which I like.
Yeah. It's all about making it stick in your mind so you remember to put your health first.
For sure. Now, besides remembering names and working out safely, I'm curious about using mnemonics for like personal growth. Is that a thing?
Totally. Remember that acronym we talked about, think before you speak?
Oh, yeah, right. Truthful, helpful, inspirational, necessary, kind.
Exactly. It's like a checklist for better communication. And what's cool is by remembering those 5 words, you're basically training your brain to hit pause before you speak.
So you can be more intentional about what you say. That's powerful. Any other ways to use mnemonics for personal growth?
Definitely. Like say you're trying to be more grateful. You could come up with a mnemonic where each letter represents something you're thankful for. Family, friends, health, nature, even a good cup of coffee. Just little reminders throughout the day.
I love that. So it's not just about remembering things outside of us, it's like internalizing good stuff too.
Exactly. Mnemonics can be great for self-improvement, managing stress, setting goals,
Yeah.
really anything where remembering is important.
They're these secret weapons for our brains.
Right. And you don't need anything fancy, just your own brain and a little creativity,
And like anything else, it takes practice.
for sure. But the more you use them, the easier it gets. You might even surprise yourself with how fun it can be.
So how do we start using them more? Should we be like walking around with mental notebooks, writing down everything?
That's a great question, and it brings up a really important point about mnemonics.
It almost feels like we've been talking about mnemonics like they're the answer to remembering absolutely everything.
And while they're super helpful, you've hit on something important there.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's not about remembering every single little thing.
So we don't have to become like walking encyclopedias.
No way. In fact, trying to remember too much at once can actually backfire. Our brains, they need a little time to process everything.
Okay, that makes sense. So how do we find that balance using mnemonics without overloading our brains?
Be picky. Focus on the stuff that really matters. Like, you wouldn't use a hammer for every job, right?
Right.
Same with mnemonics. You choose the right tool for the job.
So if I'm giving a presentation, maybe an acronym for the key points, but if I'm trying to be more mindful, there's that think acronym we talked about.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works for you, for your style. And remember, it doesn't have to be one or the other. Sometimes just writing something down is enough.
So mnemonics are a tool, not the whole toolbox.
Exactly. And the more you try them out, the more you'll discover what clicks for you. Maybe you're a visual learner, love those mental images, or maybe rhymes and songs are your thing.
It's like we're finding these hidden talents in our own brains.
I love that. It's about that journey, realizing our brains are capable of so much more than we think.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into mnemonics, any final thoughts for our listeners?
Absolutely. Don't underestimate the power of your own memory. We all have this incredible ability to learn, and mnemonics, they just help us unlock it. So go out there, try these out, have fun, and see what you can do.
I love it. Unlock the power of your own mind. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.